Let me first send my condolences to the family who lost their loved ones, and let me wish a speed recovery for the thousands of injured Egyptians, and let me wish the rest of Egypt freedom, justice, and rule of law. It is shame on anyone, including the ambassador, to claim that the peaceful protesters had weapons, and sometimes they claim that they had weapons of mass destruction inside the tents. I was there in Rab' al-Adawiyya. The people are peaceful. They've been there for 40 days without an engine. Who would kill himself? And thousands. Not only that, we heard reports that the field hospital now, that the police, the criminal police officer, the criminal army officers are burning the hospital. They're burning the body. That is never heard of in the history of Egypt. Those people cannot be Egyptians killing the Egyptian people by the Egyptian army and the Egyptian police force.
So Dr. Dardery, just I'm sorry to jump in, but the government is saying, and you heard from the ambassador, and we've spoken to and heard from other officials, they're saying we didn't have a choice. You can't just block major streets for weeks and weeks on end, barricade yourself, create mini cities in the middle of a city. You can't just do that. The city needs to start functioning again.
Yeah, which government are we talking about? The coup government, the government that violated all human rights agreement, that violated the rule of law, that deposed the president, suspended the constitution, and removed an elected body. They give lip service to democracy. Those people, if they want democracy, it is the right of the Egyptian people to protest peacefully. They were peaceful protesters. They could have stayed there for weeks and months. They're not damaging anyone, they're not hurting anyone. But that criminal mentality of the coup and of that government that is trying to serve the interest. I wonder how the ambassador talk about serving the interests of the Egyptian. Does it mean to kill the Egyptians to be able to serve their interests? But in spite of this, Hala, we will continue to be peaceful. We will continue to have sit-ins. We will continue to be in the streets. We condemn all forms of violence against all Egyptians. That is not the Egyptian way after January 25th revolution. We want democracy. That's what we all want. We want the freedom and the justice for all Egyptians. And the only way to do this is through the ballot box when Egyptians go and vote, whether they vote for the Freedom and Justice Party or vote for any other Egyptian. We would welcome the result of the vote, and that is democracy. But the unfortunate fact is the corrupt leaders of the army, the corrupt leaders of the police force never got used to democracy. They cannot live with a democracy where transparency, where they can be held accountable. They would like to consider Egypt. I mean, look at what the military joined in doing in Syria, very similar to that. When 100 Syrians were used to be killed in a day, we in Egypt would feel grief. But in 9 hours, they killed more than 2,000, injured more than 10,000. And look at what is happening now in the streets. An emergency law will never work for Egyptians.
Dardery, thank you very much there for joining us, a member of the Freedom and Justice Party from Luxor. You're traveling in the United States right now.